Yeah,
So
for all Final Fantasy, you just told me that this game is all about going on a totally heterosexual road trip.
I think 15 looks like a really good title. What I've
It's a
seen of it, like, seems like it
metrosexual
plays really well.
of bros. In the middle of combat, they will stop to fist bump each other when they do something particularly cool.
So, yeah, welcome back, and I've heard that too. Sorry we were a little bit late getting back and getting going. Dude, Final Fantasy is weird. It's a weird game.
15 is the best so far, easily.
I think what you mean is that the country of Japan and its many exports are occasionally weird to Westerners who have a different cultural perspective.
Well, no, yes.
Remember that weird slap fight you have with Scarlet on the edge of a cannon for no apparent reason? The person who specializes in launching people into space with punches is somehow beaten by a woman in heels.
It's weird.
Space. You can knock people into space with your punch, and yet somehow you are defeated by a woman in heels standing on a long metal cylinder hanging out over the ocean. I'm just saying, Final Fantasy VII isn't as good as you remember.
I mean, it's still a good game, even though it's weird as balls, right? That's the case for all of the games. There's a level of conceit that we're meant to accept.
I mean, yeah, like, there are a lot of weird games out there, man. Like, have you ever played any game? Every game is weird.
I mean, Sabin suplexed the train, right? That's despite
Speaking of
how
games,
weird that
welcome
might
back
be.
to Burning Wheel. So, hey, let's cut back over to the keep, the old keep.
Is that where is it the fort or the keep? The keep?
Yeah.
The keep. All right. Mason, wake up! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, Mason, you want to come around at this point?
Yeah, we can wind the clock forward for my sake.
All right.
Or we could just, say it doesn't have to be 14 hours.
I'm okay with sleeping in. That's the price I pay for strong-arming the universe into letting me speak owlbear, right? It's very fair.
I really feel like I missed a lot last episode.
Yeah.
Watched it.
He watched almost all of it.
I watched about an hour of it. I was
Okay, well, that's not almost all of it. All right. It's fine.
Okay. So,
yeah. Hi. So, still talking with Elizabeth. So, what are your plans then?
you make south to Mivan.
All right. Do you have the supplies for that journey, or will you scavenge on the way?
We can make it. We know those woods.
All right.
Do you plan on now that she cynically says, like, now that you've dealt with the bandits, do you have plans of sticking around?
We will bring civilization to these parts.
Unfortunately, I have to stick around now. I have a religious duty to convert this fortress into a temple of Gorum.
Demetrius raises an eyebrow at this.
To Gorum.
I would sooner leave the Green Belt, as it turns out that there was nothing particularly challenging going on here. But whenever a expedition captures a fortress, it is our religious law that it would become a temple.
She gives you some. Can I give you some words of caution?
Absolutely.
When it comes to the Green Belt, the problems here are not sprints but marathons.
Interesting. Can you be a little less vague?
It just seems as though the problems of the Green Belt have a habit of being persistent and tenacious over time. Not so much the. And she just looks. She's like, I mean, look at history. Numerous places have called this place home. Someone, she like taps on the stone that's here. It's like someone once called this civilization, bringing civilization here.
Well, I'll leave that in the good father's hands. I have a letter to send and a ceremony to do, and then I intend to leave. Find challenge elsewhere. It's a shame that your stag lord did not put up much of a fight.
Elizabeth, before you go, the Stag Lord, was there some being that he was communicating with? Something greater than himself?
She says, yes. She says, I don't know what for sure, but he liked to drink a lot, and sometimes he would babble incoherently, going off about some woman, some lady.
Didn't you say it was a feminine voice?
Yeah, I assumed it was some scorned lover.
Was there a name?
Give us a name.
Let me roll a die.
Character.
Let me roll a die of fate.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
That seems appropriate. That seems totally appropriate.
Nope. She says.
Oh, did you already roll it?
She's like
I
Nualia or something. I don't know. I rolled it. I got the red roll 20 thing of death, but I rolled a 3 and
I say, did the Stag Lord read and write? Did he have a journal, any books he would read from, anything like that?
She says, no, he wasn't much for such civilities.
Well,
he did appreciate a good bottle, though. He'd read the labels of bottles.
To follow that up, then, it doesn't seem through our conversation that the Freemen have any particular mono religion or culture of any kind, which is fair enough. But does that mean I should be saving the burial rites for the father who's crazy and locked up in the dungeon, or would your men prefer some sort of sending off? Since I went through the trouble of bringing his body back.
Yeah.
Should have fed it to the owlbear.
It should give it to she just says, I don't know, just give it to his father.
Yes. All right, very well. That's our problem now. I understand. Well, if there's anything else that you would like to discuss, I'm sure the actual means of moving your men will take a day or two. We'll just coexist in this fortress for now.
Indeed. She's like, just as I'm starting to like this place.
Did she give us like a whole tour?
Yeah, she gave you the whole tour of the place.
Were there any
down, turn around?
Was there anything that I think I would like recognize as like the Stag Lord like using as a shrine or anything like that? Or would he have gone out?
Did the Stag Lord have a room, by the way, like up in the keep?
Yeah, that's also.
Oh yeah, no, he would have had. Yeah, there is definitely sort of like the a room with like more luxurious furs and things around, right? It's definitely would be like the Stag Lord's chamber, I guess the best way of putting it. There's a couple chests in here holding like bedding and pillows and cloths. You see around there some, like looking around, you notice in like one of the chests, like there's some crude stitched leather masks. And then below some of the blankets and things like that, there's a small like cash pouch.
Cash pouch?
Yeah.
Oh, like money pouch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like cash as in cachet. And I was like, well, what is it? Cash? What's
right,
cash?
Right.
I'll take that cash.
You'll take that in front of Elizabeth?
And in front of me?
I'll pick it up and I'll just kind of like toss it like up and down and see if any of them say anything.
You didn't do anything for that money. Don't you be taking it.
No.
I believe I was the one who.
I think Elizabeth says, "Oh, is that your share?"
I say, no. No.
Speaking of,
This is to pay for the writs. Someone's got to file the paperwork to make sure those men don't get locked up.
She nods.
Onan looks at you like
That's
this.
a small price to pay for this. That's fine.
I can make a falsehood test if you want. I mean,
I want you to, not because I'm going to call you out on it, but just because as in character, I want to be like, I know you're lying. Like,
I mean,
yeah, that's
to
like
Onan.
falsehood.
I don't have the skill to do it.
That's somewhere between falsehood, suasion, and extortion.
It really is.
It's really extortion.
Probably it.
It's super extortion. I'm not going to call you out on this. Like, I'm not going to be like, I see that he's lying and blah, blah, blah. I just want to be able to give him the look that says, I know that you are lying.
Sure.
And I'm not.
I'll roll the falsehood test. That seems reasonable.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to fork as many random things as I can in because this kind of vaguely relates to a lot of my skills.
What's the consequence for failing then?
There isn't. I know that he's lying.
That Onan knows, and that Elizabeth knows. Elizabeth might or might not act on it, but
I don't even care if Elizabeth knows. I just want to know in character. I want to know whether or not I know.
So I've got falsehood here. Let's see. The things that I would like to try to fork here are going to be persuasion.
Unless Demetrius declares that he wants to keep his intentions hidden from Onan, you can just declare that you know.
That seems to be what he's trying to do, actually.
I kind of want the falsehood test.
Yeah, he wants the falsehood test.
Yeah. No,
so-
I think that's perfectly fine to gun for this falsehood test. The consequences would be definitely Elizabeth being upset or whatever and being like you have no right to that, or it's this is ours or something.
Yeah.
And getting into that
Or
kind of
just
stuff.
thinking that I'm like a real greedy. I'm exactly what the stereotypical priest of Abadar is. Somebody who's just really trying to line their pockets. So I've got falsehood here. I've got bureaucracy. Because it's all about filing this paperwork and everything. I've got suasion. So that would be 2, I believe. Abadar wise, because I'm getting them a pardon through the church. Let's see here. What else?
But does he? Yeah, I suppose these all contribute to the lie that we don't know anything about.
Correct. But like it's just like making me like more of an authority on this is what the reason why I'm thinking that these work. I think that's gonna be the only one here. Maybe ambition wise, because I'm just
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't think so. Okay, so that's 3.
Not ambition. No. Oh, that's good wise though, but that's not this one.
And it's good jockeying.
I've got let's see here.
Jockeying, is that the term for it?
So I'm
Jockeying for
taking
advantage.
the average of their wills. So what am I looking at as far as an ob? So I know whether I need to throw.
Well, it's
some
only one person's will, right? Unless Onan's throwing their weight with Elizabeth together.
I thought it was.
I want to know. I don't actually care whether or not Elizabeth knows. So I'm not trying to help her. I'm also trying to perceive.
Well, then it's the higher of the 2 wills. Then that's all.
I've
Will's
got a
4.
4.
Oh, it's 4.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to be throwing 5 dice at this. I need routine tests, so I can't get that. But I will spend a point of persona, I suppose.
Oh, wow. Really?
Actually, no. Nah.
Come on. This
No.
is not important enough.
It's not worth it. It's just.
It's not important enough when my reaction is going to be,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
wow, a success for every dice you rolled.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
If only you can do that when you're trying to do a miracle. You
Those swings, man. Those swings with your dice.
Yeah, I'm. It balances out because after that 6 dice with no successes on the ob2, I mean, something had to happen. So I'm a convincing liar.
Yeah,
Speaking
no,
of-
no, I think that makes sense that you need to pay you have to grease the palms to get those people. And Elizabeth's like she knows how that works. Yeah, that's fine. She's like that's okay.
Speaking of shares of bounty, Miss Swan, have the freemen here made any profit besides muscling Oleg and his wife? I'm not suggesting that we should take that money, but I would like to know what the situation is.
Yeah. She brings out a all right, then we cut to the I guess the dining hall or whatever, and some men are hauling up a barrel, and in the barrel is a barrel full of coin, so it's heavy as fuck.
Are you really going to lug that all the way to the southern forest?
It's we could have horses.
They have 2 horses, don't they?
Yeah, and that's what they were going to use to.
Okay.
It's this is enough to get us to Mivon.
Seems to be a little more than that.
Our deal is resolved, but perhaps some goodwill could perhaps return some that was muscled from Oleg and his wife.
And she looks at you. Is how much are you talking about?
I seem to recall that something of importance was taken from them. Something personal.
You say that in character?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, huh. She has to think about it. And she's like, oh yeah. And she looks at her hand and takes off the ring or whatever. He's like, oh, it's probably this thing, right? This thing?
Yes, the ring. That is what it was.
Yeah. Redding wing. Sure.
May I have it back to give to them?
Yeah, she hands it over. No problem.
I'm glad that you have been so amicable about this. Pocket. Well then, it seems like we need to get this portcullis working. Do any of your men have any knowledge in such things?
No, she kind of looks over. It's I don't know, boys. Do you have any knowledge of how to get that thing working? And everyone's kind of no, not really.
This is going to be
What's
a very
the point?
awkward...
We're leaving here. Why just?
Because this is
it's
how
broken.
you leave.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This
it's
is.
broken.
I want them to have said that so I can be like, and this is how you leave.
Oh, and they go, oh, of course.
Someone who knows chainsmanship, or even just a replacement chain. Any chain within the fort that is long enough to be a replacement.
They say, well, they could. One of them suggested, well, we could use the old man's manacles. That might be able to work.
Well, he's free of them now. Let's go down and the Asada here, a melt there. Doesn't need to be permanent. We'll just hoist it to its locked position and then leave it there until we can get better repairs. We're not expecting, right, any hostilities between anyone here anytime soon. So, we just need to get it open so that everyone may leave in comfort and safety.
Yes, of course.
I guess we go down in the basement and see how that's resolved or not advanced.
Is there going to be a check for repairing that, or do we just assume it happens?
amongst everybody.
No, do you want to? I mean, do you want to work on? I guess some kind of what kind of role would that even be to repair that?
No,
if you want to work on a role for that, otherwise I can just assume that it just happens and you guys get it forged and work.
The only thing I'm trying to do here is
I feel like it's like a laborer check, which
it's like an allocation of okay, who's ever worked with metal. Oh, you have? Okay, just reforge the links in this chain.
Yeah, all you gotta do is hit a hammer to one of the links and it breaks or whatever, and you hammer it back, and it right.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm not trying to do it. I'm trying to find someone in the many people who has had any experience doing this. I'm sure it happens.
Yeah,
I know.
Making chains is easy. It's not like there's a saying about what happens if you muck it up or anything.
It's the weak link in the chain joke. That's the joke that that one.
Okay. Yeah, so that takes a little bit of the rest of the day. Mason, what are you doing while this is all going on?
I'm sleeping.
He's unconscious.
By the time they're like reforging the chain or whatever for the portcullis, I feel like you would be up.
Wonderful. In that case, as Mason wakes up, and realizes where they are and like gets to grip with, okay, that's the situation. Okay, I'm not a prisoner. I'm fine. Like they splash some water in their face, like clean themselves up. And then they set about like basically looking around the place, checking in with Owen, checking in with Demetrius. And once
you're awake.
Do they? Where did they put you? Did they put you in the Stag Lord's room?
Why not? If it's comfy.
No, you're awake.
Just mind wrestle an owlbear. So
thank you for the assistance with the owlbear. It was done. I imagine we haven't been able to move the body. The thing's huge, right?
Yeah, the thing's huge. No, it's just there.
I saw that you maintained consciousness past the final blow, so there's nothing left to say.
Yeah, Mason looks sad when you mentioned the owlbear.
Are you all right?
Well, yes, I guess I am. I would just have preferred a different solution.
Well, if this bastard chain is who you have to blame, breaking just as it did, almost some sort of interference from some god or deity that shouldn't be sticking their nose into things, I say, like, outwardly into the sky.
I'll just be like, Sir Onan, you seem to just dismiss the divine when it suits you and accept it when it does not.
I'm like pounding on something as we're fixing things, and I'm like, Gorham is a god who does not assist his followers. You've mistaken my hypocrisy for being very concise, as a matter of fact. I, in general, appall interference by the divine because it is anti-Gorham.
And did you appall the blessing to your crossbow that killed the Stag Lord? Did you appall the
I feel like Mason just excused himself from this conversation, just like sliding
Mason,
off.
I'm not letting you walk away that easily. I have something to say to you. You're going to stay put while I finish telling the father what exactly is going on. First of all, as far as I can tell, Abadar only broke that crossbow. He didn't actually help in any way. And second of all, you're right. I did accept the blessing of your god to help save your life. I invited you into this fortress, and therefore I put you into danger with the owlbear, and therefore it is not solely my decision what must be done to protect your life. If you want to bless my sword to help save your own life, I cannot and will not say no. Mason.
Very convenient doctrine, Sir Owen.
Yes, my lord.
The Stag Lord's father is some sort of shaman.
Oh? Mason's face lights up.
He was locked into the cellar and tortured by the Stag Lord frequently, and was still upset at the news of his son's death. At the very least, I'm hoping you can go down and get a second look at these fetishes and scrawlings that he left in his cell. He's got a weird tattoo. I figured this would interest you greatly.
Yes, it might.
There's one other thing that I would have you think of, Mason.
Yes, my lord.
Whispers of a woman some sort of powerful being. I heard her voice in a vision some weeks ago, and I have heard tell that the Stag Lord would speak of her when he was deep within his cups.
It might be the being that his father communes with, or it could be an entirely different being. But they should stop interfering, or else they're going to get a shiny boot up their bum.
Mason looks up when you say what you're saying, and like they nod to you with like a level of like enthusiasm and also like a level of graveness. I will look into it, although I will have to speak more on the topic with the both of you.
Yes.
I'll go and check on this. Is the owlbear still there? Has it been moved? Is it burned? They didn't touch it, did they?
The body is intact.
Yeah, it's still
It's
intact.
dead.
Why do we need to burn it? Will it come back?
No, not as far as I'm aware. No, it's just that such a creature is a rarity, and well, I would like to claim parts of its body for myself. I would find them useful, not merely as a decoration to mount above the mantelpiece, but for actual useful purposes.
Mason, I believe we had a deal walking into this fortress that if you proved yourself useful, then I would support you in your future endeavors. It's my kill, and you were very useful during it, so consider the body yours. And additionally, find the room in this keep that most suits your work and claim it as your own.
I thank
That should
you.
be surprising.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my lord. It is much appreciated. I would relish the opportunity to be able to come here and do my work, as it is closer to the forest. The marsh. Yes, thank you. And I look around this room, like this big comfy room, and I have that thought, was like, oh, I'm in the boss's room. This is the important room. This is the room that Onan is probably going to. You know what? No. And I'm invoking arrogant again, and I'm like, well, this place is nice.
Yes, if it suits your needs, although it would be very difficult to drag owlbear carcasses up here. And
I guess.
I do not know where the arcane winds blow, and if you need to be higher off the ground or whatnot, commune with birds, take it happily.
A good point. I have to imagine he's picking this room for a good reason. Am I correct in saying, Mason, that the arcane energies are stronger here than in the rest of the fort?
Mason feels incredibly bad because there's a lot of enthusiasm there and they don't want to bullshit you, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't make a lick of difference. So they just smile at you, not committing to an actual answer. They're like,
I mean, of course, all these fineries will be removed. We wouldn't want them getting in the way of your dangerous and dirty work.
I'm sure that'll be perfectly acceptable, my lord, so long as this place is furnished to suit my needs, as you so correctly said.
Yes, just tell me what you need, and I'll see to it that it is gotten. I mean, within reason.
Naturally.
I didn't realize you were so wealthy, Onan. Quite impressive that you have the funds to maintain your very own court wizard.
Oh, if only I did.
No such contract has been made yet.
And Mason is here of his own volition, not under some sort of contract. But plenty of furnishings will be coming with the deacons who will bless this church.
I look to the both of you as if like to give my to provide my say on this topic in general, and I say in a statement of like my purpose here, I say I arrived here because there are things about this place that I must know. My soul will not rest until I have explored some of the mysteries of this region. And I would be very pleased if I could do so while also aiding in the cultivation effort of this place. To have you three lords here, powerful and influential that you are, pleases me greatly, and it is a great honor for me to be able to assist you in your endeavors here.
Mason, I imagine that some number of your explorations will involve the Gnarl Marches.
Oh yes, did you see that? Yes, of course you did. You prayed to it. The statue of old Deadshot, the grandfather.
Yes.
So fascinating to think what kind of civilization must have been here before us.
I told you of the inconspicuously dead field surrounding the pristine skeleton. The Gnarl Marches are filled with, I presume, all sorts of arcana. And perhaps, although I no longer hold out hope for it, there may be a challenge yet somewhere in those woods. I would ask that you allow me to be your guard when you go on any sort of intellectual exploration.
Mason looks completely dumbstruck. You have legitimately floored them at this point, and they just look at you open-mouthedly for a moment, not really computing what it is you said. And finally picking up when you're not reacting, when you're not being like, ha, ha, you believed me. When you're not doing any of that, there's a moment where they just stammer forth like, I would be honored.
All right.
And Mason, if you have any questions or anything that you would like aid in looking over, perhaps my knowledge of things ancient and divine could be of service to you.
I'm sure you two will work very happily together. Is that portcullis fixed yet?
Yeah, no, it's definitely fixed, dude.
All right, so who's the fastest member of the 478 on horseback? Besides me.
Probably, I was going to say,
Sir
yeah,
Zinnovor
it's
has
Khamir.
pretty high-
It's Khamir for sure.
Yep. They're the one that gets the letter to the Church of Gorham.
Bishop of Shortblade.
I would like to have a scene where me and Onan speak about this church. If it has to be out in the courtyard, that's fine. If that's where you spend.
Well, I think it would be perfectly reasonable to say that you have been like looking for the right moment, and then I'm handing a letter to my guy on horseback, and you're like, "Oh, right moment's not coming." So I'll just budge in here.
How about this? Because I would love to be there as a fly on the wall for that scene, maybe to partake and maybe to not. So how about we say that Mason goes about doing what you instructed, right? I go down, I look at the symbols, I speak to the old wizened person. I look about the fort and I want to talk to some of the bandits, like some of the people who are local here about what's up, right? What sight should I be seeing in the forest? And then we could fade to a scene in the mess hall or something of that conversation happening.
Well, did you want to go talk to the order guy?
We're gonna have to cover that. We can't glaze over that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, Onan has to write a letter to the church. Doesn't he have to make a test for that, like I did?
Yes, I do have to make a test, but I presumed the test would also involve me sending the letter away, not just writing it. Because I've already done that. Is the point? I've already written the letter. I'm waiting for the portcullis to be fixed so I can send my fastest rider.
It is fixed.
Yeah. So, but basically, let's do Mason's scene, and then we'll come up on Father Demetrius interrupting me as I hand the letter to my.
So, Mason, you come across a smelly, stinky, emotionally spent human being, wretch of a human being in this basement.
So
I guess looking over the body of the Stag Lord.
Mason feels uncomfortable initially, right? Because this is not a pleasant sight. But looking at the emaciated and horrible form of this wretch, they look upon him, then they leave for a brief moment and come back with a platter with a pitcher of water or something. And just place it on the ground next to the person, and don't say anything. Just leave it there for the person to interact with, and just step back and try not to impose until they feel they have the person's attention. starting off on a careful but soft footing, if you get what I mean.
He takes the water and instead of like drinking it or anything like that, he like takes it and like washes his hands a little bit in it, and then like pours a little bit in kind of like the muck and stuff of this basement, and then like takes his hand and starts drawing on the body of the Stag Lord.
At that, Mason.
Old runes. Yeah, in a language you probably do not know.
Okay. I would love to see if I know it. Although I'll accept it if you tell me that I don't.
I mean, it would be like Druidic, so this would be hard because it's not that no one teaches you Druidic. It's like you could recognize Druidic, but it'd be very difficult to know. It's like one of those obscure esoteric languages that they kind of keep to protect, right?
I think I'll accept the statement that they probably don't know Druidic, and I think Mason like hunches down near them and is like, "Hello, I'm afraid I don't understand what you're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying?"
He looks at you, like he like stops like drawing something and looks at you, and like with his like dead eyes, he looks at you and he's just like, "Leave me." Like in a very serious, like, I have nothing left in this world. All of my chickens have come home to roost, if you would. Leave me.
Even the one who beat and ooh.
Yeah, he's like, leave. Yeah, so like all he says is short that, but his words carry the weight of
ages.
I did horrible things to my son, and my son did horrible things to me in return, and my son's dead, and my whole life is horrible.
So he says that, and there's like this incredible gravitas of what they're saying. So at those words, Mason initially doesn't speak back, but instead of leaving, they change from the hunched position to actually sitting down, as if like bodily making the statement that I'm here to stay. And then I like try to like scrutinize his purpose in working with the body of what I deduce to be his son.
Yeah. Well, he like kind of like whispers in his weak breath some kind of like arcana as he like continues to write on the skin of his son.
Your words
kind of like ignoring you.
Your words, they have meaning, but I can't tell for sure. I think I recognize forest.
Do you want to make a test?
Old tree.
Yeah, do you want to make a test for what he's doing?
Hell yeah, I do. What do you want me to roll? Symbolism, foreign languages, ancient languages.
I think symbolism would be the best one.
Is symbolism a different skill than symbology?
I think it's symbology. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's
I was about to say like.
Yeah, I'll take symbology
or obscure. Yeah, like occult
ancient
history
languages
could also work. Foreign languages, maybe. Yeah, I will let you fork foreign languages if you have it.
Do I have any languages? I don't think I have languages of any kind or sort. No, I don't. Yeah, so let's see. Do I have anything I can fork on this? I could always fork astrology, but I don't feel like I've done anything to earn that in this case. So I feel like it's much more legit to not fork astrology on this. Yeah, I think I'll just take the symbology test.
Okay.
Since I'm spending some time observing him as I'm doing this, I figure maybe I can fork research.
No, only because you don't have access to the stuff that you need to research. Like research.
You describe these as being arcane. Would I be able to fork sorcery?
Yeah, You could fork sorcery, but not but not research. And only because research implies that you have like time and access to a library while you're doing this, in my opinion.
Sure.
Right, like or at least
you
like
have something
tomes
to
of shit.
research
Yeah.
out of.
Things,
do you want
other
me working-
external information in a state that you can be accessible as not just your head.
Yield Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I would work carefully on this to take another die.
Okay. That's fine. This guy's taking his time as well. So
What orb am I looking at, and what's my consequence for failing?
The consequence. Okay, so I think the ob here would be. Let me look up what he's doing and what the obstacle would be for it.
The list of obstacles is like on page 20 something.
Yeah. This is a 5.
Cool. I'll take it. Also, it was on page 15. I'm bad.
It's okay. I found it anyways. Yeah. I forgot. I have it actually in here online. I have a obstacle reference sheet, which I was looking for the chart.
Wonderful. All right, let's do this. You only need a success on every die. Let's go.
You can do it. Father Dimitri just did.
Well, here the failure would the failure will modify what he's actually doing here in my head.
Cool. So if I succeed, what is he actually doing? And if I fail, what is he doing? It's curious.
Do I have to tell you?
No, you don't. I just want to know.
Okay. He's so this is some sort of funeral rites.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The intentions is to return to the earth. If you succeed, that's exactly what you know what he's doing.
And if I fail, he's trying to chain his spirit here and haunt the place.
No. It's going to start. Yeah, I think if you fail, I think he's laying the groundwork for reincarnation.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Yup.
You gotta come on. You gotta fate. That fate can explode 3 times.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Come on, you got that. Come on, that's easy. That's easy.
Let's fate it.
Crazier things have happened
In this game.
Yeah, you're the one who's allowed to say that.
Looking at 3 success.
You and Swan are the ones who are allowed to say that. Okay.
I just never get the successes on the rules that I really care about.
Not enough other than, you see vague references to woods returning to the earth. Ashes to ashes type thing.
How do you want him buried if you do? I'm not aware of what your funerary rites would be. I shouldn't pretend. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be vague with you. I'm sent here with a purpose, and I am supposed to divine them from you. I'm just showing an interest because I didn't know your son, but, we all deserve some respect post-mortem.
Boy, yeah, no, he doesn't believe you when you say that, in a way that he says, like, I have no wisdom to give, like a wretch like me has no wisdom to give anybody. Except an example of what not to do. My son is dead.
True. My father is dead. We all return to the earth. It's the ineffable cycle of life, death, and rebirth. We are all shackled to the wheel.
He smirks when you say that. Yes.
I'm pleased in my mind that I at least managed to put a little chink in his armor, and so I try and continue to pressure him. I'm like, you say you have no wisdom to give, but I could at least know your name.
He says, This man goes by Nograph.
Greetings, Nograph. I am
There's
Mason.
no greetings to be here. There's no greetings to be had.
Well, in that case, let me extend my respects as a person to another, even if I am marred in ignorance of you and your purpose.
I'm gonna need you to do some like soothing platitudes or something to get
Hell yeah!
past this guy.
Hell yeah! I want to break him. I want to break him open and have.
I see you working on it, so I think that's what you want to do. If you're open, if you want to open to doing some other skill, but I feel like you're really trying to do soothing platitudes, like you're really trying to be like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but greetings and nice,
Definitely.
You're okay.
This is Mason's to like go to approach to things they don't feel comfortable getting their hands on. It's just trying to be pleasant and see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just doing this. What up am I looking at for this? This is the guy's will, right?
Mm-hmm. Will 3.
Cool. Let's do it. Boop. Yep. No.
Nowhere.
Also, I should have asked for a consequence. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Don't sweat it.
Gosh, Mason succeeded something. Why? I'm just kidding.
No. That's fine. Sam, your camera just died for a second.
No.
It's okay.
Dead.
It's back though.
Everything's dead.
It's back.
It's on fire. Shut it down. Shut it all down.
So, yeah. I think what this looks like is he's like, you want some wisdom? I'll give you some wisdom. Stop searching for anything. The answers you find in life are worse. You're better off not knowing anything.
There's a moment of hesitation for Mason where they know this to be true in some respect, and then they lock eyes with this old person and they like stare defiance at him. You think I don't know that? I am not so green behind the ears as I look.
Oh. So
I too have walked the ways. I just do so blindly now, for I have no one to teach me, and no one will show me or share. But I'm not going to stop looking just because the world doesn't offer it to me on a platter. There's far too much out there. Things that have been forgotten, things that shouldn't be. You want to keep your wisdom? Fine. You die with it for all I care. But I don't want you to.
Are you intending to do something like to guilt him into doing this now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so instead of being nice to him, you're trying to like coerce him into this?
I intend for that to be the effect, right? I want him to like have a. I want him to like. I want to kindle the fire of an instructor in him. I want him to want to share what he knows, or at least engage me in conversation about what it is he thinks is so horrible about the world.
It might be an ugly truth test,
Yeah,
exactly.
You tried to be nice, and now you're bringing out the real talk, right? Yeah. And so exactly.
That is my intention. Mason is actually just unloading.
Okay. Well, that definitely sounds like an ugly truth. He was stating some ugly truths. So I feel like you're like, yeah, I know. Ugly truths back at you, boy. We can do this.
Cool.
So
are we looking at the same obstacle?
To this. Sorry, what?
Are we looking at the same obstacle, or do you want to increase the difficulty? Because
same obstacle.
Cool. Let's do it. So yeah, up 3.
If you put it in being learned, it'll automatically double.
There we go. Nope. Still nothing.
Okay. Yeah, now he's getting like irate and says, he's like the things that I've known and things that I've seen. The answers you find to the questions you seek they cost more than you'll ever know. You're a boy and you don't understand.
I scoff at him, and I say, not knowing and not understanding is not an excuse. There are things in this
It's
world that will bend and subvert us if we don't prepare ourselves. You can rot here if you want to.
He's like, go off, fall in love, forget all of this stuff. It's not worth it. Go fight, go fight for some lord and die. Who cares? The answer, the questions you seek are, you know, this. And he's like as he's like drawing, it's like this is what you get. It's like this is what happens when you seek things that should not be seen or, you know, sought after.
Cool.
This is all that awaits you.
Mason defeated, like stands up and like huffs and is like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think
I'll go on without you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight here, only because I feel like I don't want to like pretend like I'm hiding something without like opening some secrets to give you some examples. Sure. This guy has seen some fucking magic in his life.
Yep.
He has seen some dark magic in his life. You can just like use like it's a scar on it, like, you know, it's like the 1,000-yard stare of behind his eyes of what he's seen.
Interesting. So with that knowledge, like in Burned in Mason, I think they take to one last try, and this time they're actually coming at it like they're being manipulative, which they don't normally do or like. But knowing this, they're like, maybe I could leverage that this guy has seen some fucking magic and that has left him like mentally scarred a bit. I could leverage that against him by informing him that I'm a magician and that I'm totally green and raw, and all the questions I've been asking like totally lead up to if he doesn't do something, like if he doesn't like encourage and help me, I might go off and just like become the thing that he knows is bad. So I think that is, and since I'm manipulating him here, I feel like I'm acting. I'm just like, I know what you've seen. You've seen magic. You think you've seen magic. An old fool like you. I possess magic. I'm not afraid. Not like you hiding here, like clinging to the wheel of life and death, claiming there is no purpose and nothing to be gained for yourself. I'm going to go and do things. Yes, I will be important.
You sound... It's like, have you ever had to kill for what you believe?
Damn it. I think...
so you did just kill an owlbear regretfully.
You didn't kill him. You didn't kill him. You were trying to keep it alive.
Yeah. There's a problem with that, and that is that they totally have, and it actually hurts them inside.
Yeah.
So instead of committing to the bit, I think that there's tears well in the corner of their eyes, and they just turn around and they storm out.
No.
Yeah.
How old is Mason?
That's a good question, isn't it? Don't worry. I'm not going to be mysterious about it. Mason is 27.
Is 27?
Yeah, 27.
All right. Well,
good shit,
Demetrius is only 28, so.
Yeah. All right. It's about time for our next break, though.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to wrap up with you, Naren, real quick?
Not at all. Although
I know you
I will
talk to some other people, though.
Yeah. I will make a point of talking to Demetrius and.
If you're trying to get a friend, because if you were trying to get a friend at that point, I might just allow maybe like either like a circles roll to see like who you come up with, or or just we can role play out in something else.
So I feel like the thing is some of the bandits will follow Demetrius, so I can like engage them on the region at any point.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it depends on how you wanted to approach that belief you had, and I was just trying to think about that a little bit. Okay. Cool. All right, then we'll be back in 5 minutes. Yeah, 5-minute break. Yeah.